Hello, this is Rich Gurman. I'm the founder of the JV Insider Circle, and welcome to another edition of JVIC Success Stories. I'm excited today to be with Cindy Holbrook. Cindy, I feel like you and I have known each other for many years now. How long have we known each other?
Since 2015.
Oh my God, so like 5+ years. And I don't think I've ever interviewed you before, have I?
No, you haven't.
Well, good. Well, we have a short time here together, but I'm excited to get to know you a little bit better. So first thing I want to ask, just so everybody gets to know you a little bit better, tell us about your business model and specifically who do you serve?
I'm known as Cindy J, the Visibility Whiz, and I serve small businesses, coaches, authors, consultants, and speakers to get seen by their ideal audience and to get known as an expert so that they can get clients.
Awesome.
I also help with the confidence, and really it's all about building a business that's aligned with somebody's personal beliefs and values.
Beautiful. So visibility, confidence, and really doing it in integrity with what people are feeling inside, getting that message out to the world, correct? Awesome.
Correct.
So let's talk about the reality of the world that we're in right now. How has your business been? The clients that you work with, how are you adapting and adjusting in this current reality that we're in right now?
I'm just serving people. I keep track of my monthly income. In March of 2020, I had a 409% increase over March of 2019.
Wow.
And I know so many people are saying that people aren't buying, but people do buy what they need, and they do buy what is going to help them improve their lives. And even back in the Depression, people talked about 25% unemployment rate. That meant 75% of people were still there able to purchase stuff. And so regardless what happens now with the pandemic, there's still so much that we can do and to build our business, to be creative, to really create a new way of being and a new way of doing business and a new way of being visible. My mom she was raised in New York, and she was there during the Depression and World War II. So a lot of the stories she's told me, I really can relate these stories to what's happening now. For instance, during World War II, if you lit a match at nighttime, you would get arrested. So the whole city was dark. And she used to talk about experiences that she had during that time. And so I think from all of her stories, it's helped me be prepared for this. Even though, like everybody else, I've had my downtimes where I've cried or got afraid, but then I pick myself back up and move forward and just say, who do I want to be when this is all over? And that's what I ask all my clients. Where do you want to land when this is all over?
Wow. That was a lot you just shared. So let me kind of back up. So first of all, congratulations on was a 409% increase revenue the month of March from this year versus last year. That's amazing. I don't think everybody could say that for sure. I was going to ask you, what have you been doing to really work on your mindset through this challenging time? And you kind of already answered it, telling, that great story about your mom. Repeat the question that you said again, that you're telling probably yourself and also your clients. I want you to repeat that, please.
It's basically, this is temporary. And instead of saying, what am I going to do now? It's where do I want to land once this is over? During the Depression, cinemas took off. And during the Depression, they made a little bit of money. However, they got very, very well known. They weren't super profitable until after the Depression era ended. And this is the same way. Where do you want to land? What can you do now to position yourself to be where you want to land once the pandemic's over?
So the point of asking, where do you want to be when this is over, is to bring us back into the moment of, okay, what do I need to, is it like, who do I need to be? And what do I need to do now?
Exactly.
So that I can be and do and have those things whenever, down the road when this is over? Is
right.
That the philosophy? Great. So what have you done personally? If you have a thought, share it. But I wanted to ask what shifts you've made personally in your own business. But share the thought you had first.
I've had so much on my plate before that I've just sort of been going along with my original plan. However, in April, I have lots of ideas that I'm going to implement. So I know my ideas are really flowing. One thing that I did is a few weeks ago, I hosted a pajama party, and it was just a fun party with absolutely no agenda, but just someplace where we all met on Zoom in our PJs just to chat and get to know each other as an outlet. So that was one thing that I did, but it's really tuning in and following my inspiration. Something else I did was I posted it in our group, is I felt inspired to create this little video about the world's temporary closed, and let's say prayers for people who are afraid, sick, and grieving, and then be willing to open up your heart, mind, and soul. Open up your mind to intuition and to innovation, into creation. Open up your soul to what it is that you're meant to do, and open up your heart to be love and compassionate to other people right now. And then once the world reopens, we're going to be a better world. We're going to be more full of love, compassion, and creativity.
I love
So
it.
those are some of the things that I've done that I felt inspired to do.
So use this as an opportunity to open up your intuition and to create more innovation. You said a lot of great words in there, but those are the two that really hit me: intuition and innovation. That was awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I sleep naked, so I hope you don't invite me to one of your PJ parties, Cindy.
I said shirts required.
Oh, did you? Okay. All right, then I'm in. This is Zoom from the top up, right? Wow. So let's normally on these interviews, we definitely talk about how people have used joint ventures to build their business. Obviously, my company is the joint venture JV Insider Circle, which you've been a part of for a long time. So how are you, especially today, using JVs to build your brand, to get your message out there, to get clients? We recently did a launch where we do a webinar and bring in new members to JVIC, and you were one of our top 10 partners in that launch. Thank you for that. Always love when people bring people our way. So how are you using joint venturing collaboration now more than ever?
I don't know that it's more than ever. When I was promoting at JVIC, one of the card close emails that I sent, I started thinking about all of the benefits that I've received from JVIC. When I first began with JVIC, I was a divorce coach, and I thought nobody's ever going to want to partner with me because I'm only a divorce coach. Believe me, I had like little confidence. And when I went to JVX and I seen how many people were excited about my mission, just from there, I mean, again, I quadrupled my income the following year because my confidence was boosted so much, and I started finding partners. And then the following year, I morphed into being the visibility whiz. But when I started thinking, I host a podcast, Biz Success in 15, where I interview top experts who share 15-minute strategies to build your business. And when I got this idea, it was before JVX, and I thought, I'm going to ask all the sharks. Rich said yes. One of these days, he'll actually be on my podcast. I put you on the spot, Mr. Rick. But I asked all the sharks to be my guests. So that's how I launched my podcast. And I'm almost at 120 episodes now. Also, whenever I've done summits and giveaways, and I've interviewed people like David Ricklin and Jim Palmer and Melanie Benson, and I'm thinking a lot of these contacts came through JVIC.
Wow.
And so I really believe that 90% of the success that I've had is because of the relationships that I've built with JVIC members.
Only 90%, Cindy? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hold on.
You gotta leave some room.
All right. I'll take 90%. No, that's great. So you just shared a lot, and I just want to say a couple things. So I acknowledge you for taking the action. You're giving us some credit for creating the community. But you talked about how coming to. By the way, if anyone watching doesn't know, JVX is our live event. It stands for the JV Experience. It's our annual big event. But you seem to credit coming to JVX, you align that to raising your confidence. Speak to that, because to me, confidence is like everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
if somebody's watching, they could have the greatest gift in the world, but if they're not confident to get that gift out there, they're not going to do it. They're not going to be able to help people that need their help. So how did being in our world increase your confidence?
Simply because I really honestly, again, I thought I was only a divorce coach. I started coaching in 2009 as a divorce coach, and I'd always hear about, people doing joint ventures, but I had this false belief that only business coaches could do JVs. I thought there was nobody in the world that would want to do a joint venture with a divorce coach.
Got it.
And I held that belief so much that it lacked my confidence to even reach out to people. Also, when I did try to reach out to people, it was always the dating people who wanted to work with me, and I didn't want to be a dating coach. I wanted to help people with their grief through their divorce. Okay. So I really didn't have confidence in that what I was sharing with the world was worthy of somebody wanting to help me.
Wow, that's huge. I guarantee someone was watching right now and they're feeling the same way, and hopefully that this helped. So that was awesome. And go ahead, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. I was just gonna say, when I went there and people, always, what do you do? And I would start talking to them about divorce, and they would pick up on, they're like, you're really passionate about helping these women. And they would pick up on my passion. And I got, I thought, again, no business person would ever promote me, but there were business coaches that promoted my divorce programs. So again, that just really made me feel like what I was teaching was more worthy.
I love it. So we have a couple minutes left. And I think the last thing I want to ask you is, I'm sure before this whole pandemic occurred, confidence was always an issue for people. I've always said this, building your business through joint ventures is not complicated. We show people the simple steps, and all they need to do is follow the steps, and they can succeed. And I know, as you know, doing what you do, not everybody does it. And it's always, that's the most frustrating part for me, because I'm like, just do, we know it works, just follow these steps, but they don't do it. And they do it for reasons we talked about, mainly fear of really putting themselves out there. Like you said, even would anybody want, why would someone want to partner with me? All these excuses that we make up in our heads, all made up, by the way. So, and now, now obviously that fear has kind of been magnified with the current state of the world. So I think you know where I'm going with this. What advice do you give someone who is feeling afraid and they don't know if they've got what it takes?
First of all, I think it's acknowledge that you are afraid, and you're never afraid of what you think you're afraid of. So you need to ask yourself why, 5 or 6 times. Why am I afraid of this? And start digging it down. Most of the fears come out with, we're afraid of somebody rejecting us or being made a fool of, or somebody calling us out or being found a fraud. Those are typically the ones. But we have this love-hate relationship. We want to be seen, oops, but then we don't. So I usually have a mask that I do, but it's we want to be seen, we don't. So we're constantly going back and forth. We're, yes, I'm going to be seen. No, I'm not. Yeah. And to break through that fear, what I say, and I talk about having outrageous confidence. Outrageous is doing something that's shocking and a little bit out of the normal. And to me, confidence is just being willing to do something you're terrified to do. Being willing to do that one teeny weeny step. So one thing that I did, which sounds sort of crazy, is I posted a picture of myself wearing the sweater. I had went to this event and somebody told me that the sweater was very unflattering on me and that it made me look really fat and frumpy, and I should only wear that sweater in my house. And one of the things, and it was something for me to push through my fears, is I sent a picture of myself wearing that sweater to my email list. And so just what's one little thing you can do, because once you do it and you don't die, which you're not going to die, but we feel like we're going to die if everything happens, then another step will lead to it, because confidence can only grow whenever you take action. If you wait to be confident, you'll never get confident. You need to take the action to get the confidence to do there. And it's not, doesn't have to be something big. It's what little thing can you do, whether it make a post on social media, hop on a video for 60 seconds, or share something, one of your little vulnerabilities or something, because once you do that and you realize people are responding to you in a positive way, it boosts your confidence and helps you take that next step and the next step and the next step.
I love it. So baby steps. Very good. Cindy, we're going to wrap up for sake of time. So glad we got to do this. I'm sure you and I could spend hours in this conversation. I do appreciate our short time. And for everybody watching, if you, like myself, like Cindy, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, an author, a speaker, an expert of any kind, and you want not only more confidence like we're talking about, but more exposure, it could be via a podcast like Cindy talked about, or telesummits, giveaways that Cindy also mentioned. Imagine that anytime you had something that you wanted to promote, that you had a community of partners that were ready to spread the word about you. And that is what JVIC is. We're the #1 community of JV partners in the world who support each other to not only get their messages out there, but to get more clients. And at the end of the day, it's all about making the biggest impact possible. So if you go to joinjvic.com, you can find out more details. Joinjvic.com. Thanks again, Cindy, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Rich. Bye-bye.